Coronation Street confirms Lisa's new battle. But is Carla already gone? They found daylight at the end of the lane as if someone had forced it open with harsh, impatient fingers. Smoke still clung to the hedgerows in thin curls, lingering where the crash had ripped the quiet countryside apart. The sirens were gone now. The flashing lights had faded. Traffic had begun to creep back to normal, like the world was desperate to pretend nothing happened. But for the people who had been there, the world had shifted. The sharp smell of petrol stayed trapped in Lisa Swain's nose. And every time she blinked, she saw Becky again, smooth, smiling, poisonous, layered over shattered glass, screaming metal, and that sickening laugh Becky gave when she thought she'd won. Lisa was tired in a way that went deeper than exhaustion, deeper than sleep. Becky had been arrested. Carla Connor had been freed. Kit Green had pulled her out after days of captivity. The paperwork was being processed. The evidence was stacking up. Justice, in its official form, was finally moving. But the real damage wasn't something that could be written into a report. It lived in the silence between Lisa and Carla. Back at number 6, Ryan Connor walked alongside them like an uneasy guardian. He'd driven like a man possessed to reach them, and Lisa felt the strange comfort of his presence, the kind of friend who shows up without being asked. The street looked the same, but nothing felt the same. Outside Billy Mayhew's flat, memorial flowers had begun to gather. White carnations, a ribbon, a neat little heartbreak laid against the bricks. Carla's shoulders tightened at the sight. Billy's absence felt loud, like the whole street was shouting his name through the quiet. And then Betsy was there, waiting in the doorway, small, watchful, wearing pajamas. Her eyes ringed with exhaustion far older than her years. The moment she saw Carla, she ran forward and threw her arms around her as if holding on was the only way to keep the world from falling apart again. "I'm sorry," Betsy blurted out. "I should have believed you. I should have listened. I'm sorry, Carla." Carla's hand slid gently over the child's shoulder. Her voice softened. "It's not your fault, love." But Lisa felt it, that shift, that tiny crack in the air, because Carla's eyes didn't find Lisa's. Not properly. Inside the house, the smell of tea and ordinary life tried to reclaim the space. Roy Cropper arrived like a quiet constant, the kind of loyalty Carla had always been able to rely on. When Carla stared at the flowers outside, Roy slipped an arm around her shoulders without a word. "You've got people," Roy said, voice steady. "Whatever happens, you're not alone." Carla exhaled like she'd been holding her breath for days. "I know," she murmured. I don't know how to put any of this back together." Then Lisa finally spoke. Her voice was low, careful, like one wrong syllable could shatter what little remained. "I messed up," Lisa admitted. "I believed Becky. I doubted you. I failed you." Carla's face hardened, not with cruelty, but with a boundary. "You don't get to say that now," she said quietly. "You didn't just doubt me once, Lisa. You let it go on until it felt normal." The words hit clean. Brutal. True. Lisa swallowed the sting. "I'm not asking you to pretend," she whispered. "But I won't let Becky decide our life. I'll fight for this. For us." It wasn't just a promise. It was a plea. Carla looked away, jaw tight, as if she was measuring the cost of staying. Love, for Carla Connor, had never come without damage attached. And now Becky's lies had wrapped themselves around everything like a shadow that wouldn't lift. Later, Lisa sat across from Kit Green, the room half lit and quiet. Kit had the kind of calm that made people confess things they hadn't even admitted to themselves yet. "You arrested her," Kit said. "Becky's done. She's in custody." Lisa shook her head. "That doesn't change what I did. I let her manipulate me. I let Carla stand alone." Kit watched her carefully. You're a cop. Becky lied. Well, people like her leave bruises you don't always see. Lisa's voice cracked. What if it's too late? What if Carla's already gone, even if she's still here? Kit paused. You can't control what she chooses, he said. You can only show up honestly, and fight. Days passed. Gossip spread like wildfire across the street. News vans circled. Everyone had an opinion. But inside Carla, something was still breaking. She threw herself into work, present but distant, moving through routines like a woman who could function perfectly while feeling nothing at all. Conversations with Lisa became short, practical, cold, until one evening, Lisa stepped into the office and found Carla waiting in the dim light. Carla's face was shadowed, her expression unreadable. Can we talk? She asked. Lisa's heart thudded. Of course. Carla stared at her for a long moment. I've been thinking about leaving. The words landed like a punch. Leaving? What? Lisa whispered. Carla's mouth tightened into something like a bitter smile. Everything. The business, the house, the street, maybe even the country. Lisa's world tilted. You can't just. Yes, I can, Carla cut in. Because I'm tired of living in reaction to someone else's cruelty. I'm tired of waking up and rebuilding something that feels half destroyed. Her voice dropped, trembling with restraint. I don't want to wake up one morning and realize all I've got left is a scrap of someone else's story. Outside, the street carried on. Distant voices, clinking cutlery, life continuing like nothing had happened. But in that office, everything was on the edge of collapse. Lisa Swain had fought Becky. She had won the arrest, but this was her real battle, and the terrifying question remained hanging in the air like smoke after a crash. Is Lisa fighting for Carla, or is Carla already gone?